Hi guys, my name is Kieran and I'm here to give my quick thoughts and a preview really ahead of United's game with Nottingham Forest. Sunday afternoon, 4:30 kickoff, Super Sunday as we like to call it here in the UK. It's one which after Thursday's events is looking even bigger and even more difficult than it was before. But before we get into it, of course, please do leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Really enjoy reading your comments, so please do leave your thoughts on this game or anything at all in the comment section down below. And also, if you do like the video, feel free to hit that like button. I really do appreciate your feedback. So we'll get straight into it. We'll talk about Nottingham Forest, who currently sit 18th in the league, very much in the crazy relegation battle we've seen this season. It feels like about 8 or 9 teams could yet be relegated from this league. It's unbelievable. It's going to be a hell of a last day. I really think there's still going to be like 5 or 6 teams fighting out for those fighting out to avoid those last 3 spots. But it's going to be a crazy last day, not only at the bottom but at the top of the league as well, in my opinion. But Forest, as I said, 18th in the league, 27 points, coming into this game off the back of a 2-0 defeat to Aston Villa, who, to be fair to them, are playing really, really good football. And we're hoping they can do a job on Newcastle on Saturday to at least give us a chance of gaining some points on them. But that's by the by. Forest, they've had some recent injury concerns and they have been dropping a little bit. And actually, kind of a couple of months ago, people were saying how well Steve Cooper was doing and what a great job he was doing, and it was going under the radar what he was doing there. And actually, there was a point at which I really thought Forest were going to stay up, and they still might, but you know, a lot has changed in that time, and now they are very much in this relegation battle. And obviously, depending on how results go this weekend, they could see themselves out of the relegation zone with even a point. You know, it's that close, it's that tight down there. But as I said, they have had a few injury concerns. They've got a fairly long list of injuries as well. I think it includes people like Serge Aurier, Ren and Lodi. You know, these guys have been struggling as of late. I should check that actually. But yeah, they have been struggling with injuries, and obviously we know that's almost a bit of a theme coming into this game, it seems. Injuries for both sides. But the likes of, obviously, Chris Wood, Willy Bolly, Dean Henderson, of course, on loan from us. Yeah, they've had a lot of injury concerns. I think just so I'm recording this, another couple of players are concerned as well. So, you know, it's worrying times for Forest, it really is. And obviously from a Man United point of view, we just had a few crucial injuries, so you don't wish that on anyone. And, you know, a mounting injury list is something which, going into the run-in to the end of the season, is really, really not ideal, especially when you're trying to stay in this division. But, of course, they've still got players that can hurt us, players like Emmanuel Dennis, these guys, you know, the pace. And we've seen Emmanuel Dennis before in a Watford shirt terrorise our defence. Obviously, we lost, 4-1, was it? 4-1, 4-2 to Watford in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's last game for the club. So we know what he can do. We know what Dennis is capable of. However, the good news for Manchester United fans is that our record this season, when we've played them, has been very good from our points of view. Not so good from a Nottingham Forest point of view. 7 goals, 0 conceded from a Manchester United side of things. Forest have struggled against us, and whilst, to be fair to them, they have played us when we've been in a very good run of form, you know, that kind of just after the World Cup period where we were just absolutely unbelievable. We have played them 3 times this season, and they are yet to score against us. So they'll be hoping that record breaks on Sunday, and to be honest with you, when I get into my prediction, you'll see, but I do think that is likely, especially with how they're going to be fighting for their lives and how we've lost some key players. But Forest are going to be dangerous. Obviously, a few other points to mention. Jesse Lingard, I think he's actually going to be injured for this game. We're not too sure. I think he's had some injuries as of late, but he obviously is a former United player. Dean Henderson, you know, so there's a little bit of United interest there, as there usually is in these sorts of games. But you know, Forest will be looking to, use the spirit of the City ground, use the fans there to really push them and look to exploit our weaknesses. And I think they've got some players that can do that, and that will cause problems. So we've got to be on it. We've got to be on it, no doubt about it. But from a Manchester United point of view, obviously 2-2 draw against Sevilla at home, a bit of a nightmare second half for Manchester United. Well, really a nightmare 10 minutes. Sevilla actually only scored in the 84th minute, and it was basically from then onwards that everything went tits up. Martinez, we now know, is ruled out until the end of the season. He won't come back. Varane will be out for 3 weeks at least. So that rules them out of not only most of the Premier League games to the end of the season, but also the FA Cup semi-final. Now that is a huge blow for us. But in terms of this game, we are having to pray that Maguire and Lindelof, a back four that we saw quite a few times under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and that actually saw us get third and second place under his reign. They have to step up. They have to refine that chemistry, and we've got to just hope that they get enough protection from the likes of Casemiro and that they play out their skin and really try and use this as an opportunity to impress Ten Hag, because they haven't had many this season. So if they can use this as an opportunity to show Ten Hag that they're good enough, that they can be good competition for Varane and Martinez going forward into next season, I think that's what they've got to use for motivation. Hopefully we can put on a good defensive performance. I also think Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he's going to have another good game, and I actually thought he played well against Sevilla on Thursday, and he's someone that's going to have to win his individual battles. Luke Shaw as well, his return potentially looming. I don't think he's going to be here on Sunday, but you never know. Hopefully for the return leg in Seville, Shaw is going to be available, because we have seen him play centre-back this season, and you know what? Not too badly either. But I'll give you my predicted lineup in the game, for the game. Sorry. This is what I've gone with. So I've gone with De Gea, Malacia, Maguire, Lindelof, and Wan-Bissaka. Yikes indeed. Casemiro, Sabitzer, Fernandes, Antony, Sancho, and Martial. Which the good news is that none of our forward players have picked up any injuries, which means whilst defensively we're going to be shaky, we've still got the potential to put goals past teams. And we saw against Sevilla in that first half, we were very, very dominant. It really should have been 3 or 4-0 at half time, and that's being generous, I think. We had so many chances in that first half to put the game to bed. And hopefully that front three of Sancho, Martial, and Antony can do what they were doing on Thursday night. And if they do and they're more clinical, we can put games to bed. But I think that's what we're going to have to rely on. We're going to have to rely on, playing teams on the counter-attack and being ruthless. Kind of what we were like in the first period after lockdown, where every single game we were just taking our chances, ruthless finishing, and we got over the line. That's the sort of mentality we've got to have in this game. Sabitzer, obviously 2 goals for him, chuff for him that he's playing well, and in good goal scoring form as well. And again, with the injuries we've got, we're going to need players to step up. Don't you worry about that. And hopefully Sabitzer continues that. So that's what I've gone with. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And my score prediction for the game, I'm going with a fairly tight game. I'm sorry to say it's going to be a very, very tight, tense afternoon. I really don't think we're going to have it easy at all. But I think we're going to bounce back with a 2-1 win over Forest. I think it's going to be so tight. I think, the pressures of not having a solid back line is going to make us play quite, shakily and cagey. But I'm hoping that with the injuries that Forest had, they're not going to be at full strength. I'm hoping that whilst it's a big occasion, they're not going to have enough firepower. That is what I'm hoping and praying happens, because if they do show up and their forwards show up and have a day, we could be in deep trouble. But I'm hoping that the performance we showed in the first half is carried over into this game, and we look to really pepper Forest, and we look to expose them in their weak areas and put them away. So that's what I'm hoping, but I'm going to go with a 2-1. I think it's going to be really cagey, really tense, but hopefully we bounce back with the 3 points. And who knows, gain some points on some of the competition for top 4. But anyway, that is my prediction for the game. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.